welcome to especially to any newcomers that are joining us today, and particularly Peter, warm welcome to you. Actually, Peter has got quite a sort of a burden to bear, and it was I owe to him my own introduction to Langham half a dozen or so years ago. But apart from that, Peter, you've done the organisation quite a huge amount of good, running the literature programme over the last century or so. And so we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to have your perspective on that work. And especially we want to wish you well when you give us a chance because of your impending retirement at the end of this calendar year. All kinds of exciting stuff. So, Peter, pick the bones out of that and introduce yourself to those that might not know you here. Where are you speaking from?
Well, I'm speaking from Manchester in United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. You're looking okay on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Still all here, apparently. No, it's and yes, it's all true about me wanting to retire at the end of the year. That will hopefully allow literature to grow and to go on, as it indeed has. I think, John, if I may start immediately, then basically it was the book of Ecclesiastes was kind of the first book in the Bible that connected with me as a young teenager. I remember reading it secretly because it was just not the in thing to do to read the Bible. And so I read it and I was amazed by it in many ways. And it was that very book that inspired me when I was thinking about the relationship between faith and work, between, how to run a company. I'd been in Christian business for a while after my conversion, and that wasn't always I wasn't always a very good place to be, let's put it that way. And in the end, it was these verses that I'll share with you now that sort of helped me to make some sense of what I really needed to do. In chapter 11 of Ecclesiastes, we read, "Send out your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will get it back." Michael Eaton comments, this is a call to a venture of faith. The allusion is to an element of trust in much ancient business. Ships on commercial voyages might be long delayed before any profit resulted, yet one's goods had to be committed to them. And whoever observes the wind will not sow, and whoever regards the clouds will not reap. A lack of complete knowledge is no excuse for inactivity, Jones tells us. The life of joy will not come to the waverer. And I took my cues from this, and just as you do not know how the breath comes to the bones in the mother's womb, so you don't know the work of God, who makes everything. In other words, the life of faith does not remove the problem of our ignorance, but rather it enables us to live with it. Faith flourishes in the mystery of providence. It does not abolish it. And then lastly, scatter your seed in the morning, and in the evening don't be idle, because you don't know which will succeed, this one or that, or whether both will be equally good. Peterson paraphrases this: go to work in the morning, stick to it until evening without watching the clock. You never know from the moment to moment how your work will turn out in the end. And those are my reflections now upon my pending retirement from Langham. You kind of look back and you say, well, how has God connected faith with work? And I think all I can say to you, to a degree, it is work. I look back and I see that God has done an awful lot more than I ever dreamt of or that I ever could have imagined. So that leads me to ask you to pray for quite a few things. I've been studying Revelation for many years, as some of you know, and This means I've got 7s of everything, but I will surprise you tonight that I've actually got 8 prayer points, or rather prayer and praise points. So the first one, then we also have another one at the printer, the Central and Eastern Bible Commentary. This is in English. Corneliu Constantinou was the editor. He unfortunately died through COVID, and we just had the celebration of his life a year after his death in Romania, where we also announced the launch of this commentary. The launch will actually be in March in Prague. So please pray for that. Then this is one of my favorite pictures. This is one of the commentaries that we've done and that we are doing. And you see the main commentaries in the trunk, and then all the extra translations and derivatives away from it. At the top, you see the Chinese commentary. Please pray for this commentary. So far, 49 Bible books have been translated, 131 articles. I'd like to, with this picture in mind, I'd like to pray for the selection team who are looking to find a successor for me. And this is in process. We have interviews early December, and pray that the Lord will lead us to find the right person, and also pray that I will get out of the way and keep out of the way, so that that person can get on with the job. Then I would like you to pray for Dalria, my wife, and myself as we work on what God has in store for us in our retirement from Langham. And our work in Pikant, because our work in Pikant will continue. The boy and the girl have to live, and so we'll have to keep working. Then 7th, I would like you to pray for our literature team, that there may be a smooth changeover. Everything is running extremely well at the moment. And I just pray that whoever takes over will be enabled to allow the team to just keep on performing and keep on going the way they are, because things are moving very well. And with that in mind, I'd just like to praise God. I like to praise God, lastly, for quite a number of things. The first thing is I like to praise God for the people you see here on screen. Liz Mburu, Rica Villanueva, Jacobo Sanon, and Roman Solovi. These are our editors, commissioning editors, and they now make most of all of our publishing decisions. That's a huge change in the way we operate. And I can't tell you how delighted I am that that is the case, that the decisions about local editions and local publications are made in the locality in which they are. And then I like you to pray for these wonderful projects. Again, it's just staggering to me when I look at this. This is the work mainly of Rico Villanueva. You see 4 major Asian works, and then the whole commentary series, which is just blooming and happening as I speak. There's a lot of commentaries out there, and they keep on coming. So we want to say thank you to God for that. Then we want to praise God for the many titles published and distributed. Oh, no, sorry, for the Majority World scholarly output. Again, 109 titles, scholar, and these are all scholars from Majority World countries, from 51 countries. And distribution, and this is quite a staggering amount. It surprised me when I saw it. 81,500 copies sold of these works. And these works are many are sold in the Majority World. And many grants are used to buy these by the colleges, because they love these, because these are their own people. And they want to have this on the shelf. And hitherto, they've never been able to get these because they normally were out of reach. And then here you have all the, we want to give thanks for the many titles published and distributed. through Langham Publishing. We have now 400 titles that are available, and over 500,000 have been distributed across 166 countries. And it's that last bit that really excites me. We are trying to market in countries where most publishers don't bother. And we're getting out there to 166 countries. It is just a wonderful praise item for us. Then we continue our work to ensure evangelical scholarship is available and accessible in the majority world. And here you get a bit of a feel of the world. This is our distribution office and the team making it all happen. And here you can also see, and we want to praise God, that the original work that we started, we're still shipping 150,000 books to 1,200 colleges every year. And it's used by 119,000 students per year, our figures tell us, which is just very, very encouraging indeed. And then lastly, oops, I pressed that a bit too quick. We now have a Langham e-reader that's particularly useful for our pastors, for the Langham pastors and preachers. And you can also see on the left-hand side all the platforms on which we are available. EBSCO, Amazon Kindle, Script, Perlego, ProQuest, Logos, ETPN, and Learn Global. And these are all electronic platforms where our works are now available. Many of our works are available in up to 400 different forms and formats. So it's just, for me, when I look at all this, I say, Lord, I had no idea this could even be possible, and yet it is. So thank the Lord for this, and thank the team for making this possible. It's a relatively small team, and we just praise God for all these wonderful things that have been accomplished so far, and may it long continue. That's me, John.
Thanks, Peter. But go on just for a moment or two, which we've got, please, Peter, just to say a little bit about what you'd like us to pray for you and Ulria. I mean, you know, there's obvious stuff, but what's on your heart is to share with your friends here.
Yeah, I think really God's guidance. You know, it's when you look at this, we look at retired people, and some get it right and some get it wrong. And we do want to continue to run our own little company that would keep us nice and fresh. I've got another little project on the Book of Revelation, which I'd like to finish. And we like to, there's a few things we like to see and do. So, for instance, we love to go and visit our children in New Zealand, which we haven't seen for 4 or 5 years now. And so it'd be a real boon to be able to go out there without any pressure of work to go and visit and to meet with them and to get to know them again. You know, if you haven't seen your grandchildren for 5 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, yeah. And if I may, just to emphasize something you mentioned there, and that is we're at a critical point in the journey to appoint Peter's successor. We've got a short list of 4 good international candidates, and we're in the process of interviewing folk around the world via Zoom for that position. Of course, Zoom presents its own challenges, as I know only too well this evening in trying to get on. But please, folk, do pray for Peter's successor, which, is a key position in Langham with our major global operation that is literature, and a huge range of gifts, skills, and experience are needed by the person to do that. And, Peter has truly shown us the way there.